You're living in a world that's built to make you weak, and the scary part? You don't even see it happening. Every time you pick up your phone, every time you open another useless app, every time you waste another night scrolling through things that drain your focus, you're trading power for pleasure. You think you're relaxing. You think you're enjoying life. But what you're really doing is killing your edge, slowly, quietly, without even noticing. Men today are being trained to be comfortable, not capable. You wake up tired, you chase distractions, you settle for mediocrity, and then you wonder why your life doesn't move forward. You're numbing yourself. You're escaping reality with entertainment that gives you nothing back. You stop being hungry. The truth is, the world rewards the men who can delay pleasure, not the ones who chase it. The men who can suffer through boredom, who can stay focused when everyone else is distracted. Those are the men who build empires. And you? You've been tricked into thinking, it's okay, that your habits don't matter, that wasting time is normal. It's not. Every time you give in to weakness, you lose a piece of yourself. Every time you let your emotions control you, you tell the world that you can't control anything. And that's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Most men are slaves to their own impulses. You scroll instead of build. You watch instead of act. You fantasize instead of fight. But if you want to change, it starts here. It starts with honesty. It starts when you say, enough. I'm done being average. Because this world doesn't care about your excuses. It only respects results. And if you don't wake up now, someone else, stronger, sharper, hungrier, will take your place. I look forward to seeing you. Everywhere you go, you'll see men who've forgotten what it means to be men. Soft voices. Weak minds. No discipline. No drive. Just scrolling, simping, and waiting for something to happen. They wake up every day hoping the world will hand them purpose. When purpose is something you build, not something you wait for. The harsh truth is that most men have traded strength for comfort. They want the reward without the grind. They want respect without effort. They want women, money, and status, but they won't earn it. They'd rather escape into fantasy than fight in reality. The system loves that. It feeds on that. Because a distracted man is an obedient man. When you're too busy chasing cheap dopamine, through screens, shows, or fake validation, you'll never build anything real. You'll never take risks. You'll never break limits. You'll never rise above average. And here's what's worse. Weak men don't just destroy themselves, they destroy everything around them. A weak man can't protect his future. A weak man can't lead a family. A weak man can't even respect himself. That's why strength, not money, not fame, not looks, is the foundation of masculinity. Because a strong man can build everything else from it. And strength doesn't mean muscles. It means control. Control over your mind, your habits, your emotions, and your time. If you can't master those, you'll always be at the mercy of someone who can. And trust me, there's always someone watching, waiting to take advantage of the men who refuse to level up. The truth is uncomfortable but straightforward. You're not tired, you're undisciplined. You're not unlucky, you're unfocused. You're not broken, you're just lazy. The day you stop lying to yourself is the day you start becoming dangerous again. That's when the world begins to respect you. Because absolute power doesn't come from talking. It comes from becoming. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. It's the silent killer of dreams. You think you're safe because life feels okay. But that comfort is precisely why you're stuck. You wake up, scroll, eat, work a little, scroll again, sleep, and call that living. You've built a routine that keeps you weak and tired but feels easy enough to repeat. That's not peace. That's paralysis. Comfort is seductive. It whispers, you've done enough. Relax. Take it easy. And before you know it, years have passed and you're the same man, same body, same problems, same excuses. Here's the truth. The best version of you does not exist in comfort. He lives in the struggle. He's born in the gym when you want to quit. He's formed in the late nights when you work while others sleep. He grows when you do the hard thing, not the easy one. Most men run from pain. Strong men use it. Pain shows you what's real. Pain reveals what's weak. And pain builds what comfort destroys, discipline. Discipline is what separates men who talk from men who do. It's what makes you dangerous in a world that rewards softness. Because when everyone else is lazy, the man who can suffer becomes unstoppable. Comfort will offer you everything except purpose. It'll give you pleasure but steal your hunger. It'll keep you alive but never let you live. So ask yourself, are you really comfortable or are you just avoiding the truth? Because every time you choose comfort, you're choosing to stay average. And average men don't change the world. The second you walk away from comfort, your life changes. You start moving differently. You start thinking differently. You stop settling and start building. The man you want to be, he's not sitting on the couch. He's out there earning his peace through pain, focus, and discipline. And until you join him, you'll keep wondering why nothing ever changes. Every weak man has one thing in common: he's addicted to comfort, to distraction, to the easy way out. He lives for instant pleasure. He can't delay satisfaction. He can't sit in silence. He can't control his own impulses. That's why he's stuck. The modern world has built a trap around you, a system that rewards men for staying distracted. It gives you 1,000 cheap dopamine hits every single day. Scroll, click, swipe, repeat. Each one gives you a small taste of reward, but kills your focus a little more. You think you're just relaxing, but you're actually being drained. Every just 5 minutes moment costs you discipline. Every useless notification chips away at your ambition. You're not tired, your brain is addicted to cheap rewards. Instant pleasure is the poison of modern masculinity. It rewires your brain to chase shortcuts. It destroys patience. It kills hunger. You stop building because building takes time, and your mind only knows instant. The man who can control his impulses, that's a man who wins. When he wants to quit but doesn't. When he wants to scroll but stays focused. When he wants easy, but chooses hard. That's where power is built. Discipline is what separates the kings from the consumers. One lives on purpose. The other lives for pleasure. And here's the truth no one tells you: the more you chase pleasure, the less pleasure you actually feel. Because the thrill fades, the hunger grows. And your confidence dies. Every time you give in, you lose a piece of yourself. Every time you resist, you gain control back. That's how strength is built, not in comfort but in resistance. If you want to rise, you must rewire your brain for focus, not fantasy. You must learn to sit in boredom and still move forward. That's what real men do. They take control of their time, their mind, and their habits. And when you can master that, you'll realize you were never lacking potential. You were just drowning in pleasure. The most dangerous drug in the world isn't in a bottle. It's in your pocket. That glowing screen owns most men. They wake up to it, eat with it, fall asleep beside it. They call it a phone, but it's a leash. Every tap gives you a micro hit of pleasure. Every scroll tells your brain, you did something, even though you didn't move an inch. You trick yourself into believing you're active, connected, informed, but you're really just distracted. That's the trap. The world doesn't need to control strong men with force anymore. It keeps them weak with entertainment. You've got an endless feed of jokes, gossip, noise, and the more you consume it, the less you create. You don't build a body because watching fitness clips feels like progress. You don't start a business because motivational videos feel like work. You don't chase goals because scrolling feels like movement. But you're running in circles. The truth? The phone isn't evil, the lack of control is. A weapon in a warrior's hand builds empires. The same weapon in a fool's hand builds nothing but excuses. Every minute you waste online, someone else is building offline. Every one more video moment is time you'll never get back. While you watch, someone else learns. While you scroll, someone else trains. While you sleep, someone else conquers. If you want freedom, you need rules. No screen before sunrise. No endless feed after midnight. Use the tool, don't become the tool. Because the digital world won't stop calling your name. It wants your attention, your energy, your focus, the 3 things that make a man powerful. Guard them. Break the leash. Touch reality again. Because the man who controls his screen controls his future. Most men think they're in control. But they're not. They're controlled by the very things they think they own. You say you can quit your bad habits anytime. Then why haven't you? You say you're just relaxing. Then why do you feel empty when it's over? You tell yourself you've got time. But time doesn't care about you, it just keeps moving. The harsh truth is this: you've built a life of small chains. They don't hurt, they don't rattle, but they keep you still. Comfort, distraction, routine, all disguised as control. The illusion is powerful because it feels good. You feel in charge when you choose to stay in bed. You feel smart when you delay the hard work. You feel free when you chase the easy path. But freedom without discipline is chaos. And chaos always wins when you're weak. Absolute control is not about doing whatever you want. It's about doing what you should, even when you don't feel like it. That's strength. That's mastery. The world tells you to be yourself. But the truth is, yourself isn't built yet. You're a product of your habits. If your habits are weak, so are you. Most men are walking on autopilot, run by emotion, distraction, and ego. They think they're driving the car, but life's got the wheel. You can't build power in that state. You can't earn respect if you can't even control your own impulses. A man who can't control his habits is a man who's already lost. But a man who can, he's dangerous. He's unshakable. He's rare. When you start controlling yourself, everything else bends to your will, time, focus, direction, even opportunity. Because control breeds clarity. And clarity breeds dominance. So stop telling yourself you're fine. Stop pretending you're in control when you're just comfortable. Take the wheel back. Rebuild your discipline. And remember this: a man who masters himself can never be controlled by anyone. The first thing that happens when you stop chasing dopamine is silence. And for most men, silence is terrifying. You've built a life where you're never bored. Music in your ears. Screens in your hands. Noise in your head. You can't stand still for a moment, because stillness reminds you of how much you've been running from. When you stop chasing dopamine, your brain panics. It wants another hit. It wants stimulation, comfort, distraction, anything but the truth. But when you stay in that silence long enough, something powerful happens. Clarity. You start to see your life for what it is. You start noticing where your time goes, where your focus leaks, and how weak your habits really are. And that's the moment your power begins to return. Because dopamine isn't evil, dependence is. If every good feeling in your life comes from a screen, a buzz, or an escape, you've lost control of your mind. And the man who doesn't control his mind will never control his destiny. When you stop chasing dopamine, your body feels it. You get restless, irritable, bored. That's withdrawal, not from a drug, but from distraction. Stay there. Sit in it. Let it hurt. Because on the other side of that pain is focus. Suddenly, real work starts to feel satisfying again. Real progress starts to matter. You begin to crave challenge instead of comfort. You start feeling alive again, not stimulated but awake. Most men spend their whole lives high on noise. They never detox. They never disconnect. So they never discover how powerful they actually are when they reclaim their energy. When you stop chasing dopamine, you start creating it. From purpose. From achievement. From discipline. You stop consuming what others build, and start building for yourself. That's when life becomes exciting again, not because of fake rewards but because you've learned to enjoy the process. And here's the secret most men never learn. Once you master your dopamine, you master your drive. And a man who can control his drive can build anything. Every man wants power. Every man wants respect. Every man wants to be unstoppable. But here's the truth: none of that comes from motivation. It comes from discipline. Discipline is what separates the men who talk from the men who build. It's the bridge between who you are and who you're meant to become. You think you need motivation? No. Motivation dies the second life gets hard. Discipline survives it. Discipline is waking up when you don't want to, training when you're tired, working when everyone else is relaxing. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel, it asks what needs to be done. You want confidence? Earn it through consistency. You want freedom? Build it through self-control. You want respect? Keep your word, especially to yourself. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you add another brick to the foundation of the man you're becoming. You become sharper, stronger, dangerous but in control. Because the man who can command himself doesn't need to command anyone else. People feel his power without him saying a word. The world today is filled with weak men. Men who quit when it hurts. Men who blame the system, their past, or their emotions. But discipline doesn't care about excuses, it only responds to action. You see, discipline isn't punishment. It's self-respect. It's saying, I'm worth more than comfort. I'm built for challenge. That's the difference between a man who drifts and a man who dominates. One lives by feelings. The other lives by principles. And in the end, only one of them wins. So, the next time your mind says, rest, remember, comfort builds weakness. Discipline builds kings. A real man doesn't wait for the world to hand him anything. He takes responsibility, not because it's easy but because it's his duty. Leadership starts when you stop looking for someone to save you. The masculine leader doesn't blame his parents, his job, or the government. He looks in the mirror and says, it's on me. You see, being a leader isn't about barking orders or acting tough. It's about control of your emotions, your time, and your direction. Weak men are slaves to impulse. Strong men command themselves. A leader makes decisions based on logic, not feelings. He doesn't let rejection destroy him or success make him lazy. He stays balanced, calm, focused, because his mission is bigger than his mood. When you develop the mindset of a masculine leader, everything changes. You stop chasing approval, people start following you naturally. You stop proving your worth, you start living it. You stop begging for opportunities, you create them. Leadership is earned through consistency, through pain, through results. It's not built overnight, It's built every morning you show up, even when nobody's watching. And that's the secret. The most powerful men on earth aren't loud. They're disciplined, dangerous, and humble enough to keep learning. So, stop living like a spectator. Stop scrolling, stop waiting, stop reacting. Start leading. Because the world doesn't need more followers, it needs more men with purpose. And if you're listening to this right now, you already know that man is supposed to be you. Listen. You've heard every word, now it's time to decide. Because this message isn't entertainment. It's a wake-up call. The truth is no one's coming to save you. Not your parents. Not society. Not your friends. You either rise, or you rot. Every man gets that choice. You can stay soft, distracted, chasing pleasure, or you can rebuild your power brick by brick. You can stop being the guy who scrolls for dopamine and start being the man who builds his empire. You can stop escaping reality and start mastering it. The world is full of noise, weak opinions, excuses. But the man who takes control of his mind becomes unstoppable. Because when you master your focus, you master your fate. So here's the challenge. Starting today, no more wasting your energy. No more letting distraction run your life. Discipline, purpose, direction. That's how you rise. And if you've made it this far, it means something inside you already knows you were built for more. So comment your thoughts below. Your struggle, your breakthrough, your moment of clarity. I'll read every one of them because this is more than a channel. It's a movement. And it starts with you. Now go, become the man you were meant to be. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and turn on your notifications.